Alrighty, folks, it is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025, and we're coming fresh off a 5-win day on the premium page yesterday. We went 5-2 in our premium plays for Tuesday. We had the Brewers, Reds, Astros, Phillies on the alternate run line. We also cashed in on a 2-team parlay, and the only way you could have accessed all those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. It's also going to improve our record to 4-0 in our last 4 crowd pleaser teasers. And the good news is I've got another crowd pleaser teaser going off here today for Wednesday. That play's already posted and ready for access. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. Weekend's right around the corner. We are halfway there. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Of course, I've plenty of free content available on my premium page as well, and that includes my current overall win-loss record. You can access that right now in the post section. You do not have to pay anything to access that. I currently have over 2,600 members who are signed up and active on my premium page right now. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into some free content, starting off with the Orioles at the Phillies, 12:35 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia is $1.70, totals 8 runs. Ranger Suarez for the Phils, Trevor Rogers for Baltimore. And despite some really good stuff out of Rogers, the Orioles continue to struggle as a team. They're currently on a 3-game skid, and they also took the loss in 5 out of their last 6. And these Baltimore pitchers have definitely struggled on the road this season. They're currently in the bottom 3 in hits allowed in their travels. And they're facing a Philly squad who continues to pound the baseball at the bank. They're averaging nearly double-digit hits a game in their own stadium. 37-20 now at the bank this year. Kyle Schwarber, 40 home runs, 94 RBI, actually leading the majors in that RBI category. Bryce Harper with an OPS in the high 800s. Now, 3 out of the Phils' last 5 at home did get over the total. 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Phillies, -170, over 8. Giants, Pirates, 12:35 East. San Francisco's $1.50. Totals 8.5. Robbie Ray for San Francisco. Andrew Heaney for Pittsburgh. And even though Heaney's had his fair share of rough outings, he does have 79 strikeouts on the year, whip of 1.31. And as a staff, the Bucks have been pretty tough to hit against at PNC Park. They're allowing just 3.6 runs a game in Pittsburgh. Winning record in the Steel City. Definitely playing their best baseball there. And they're facing a San Francisco squad who's got a losing record on the road. Really not hitting well in their travels. The Giants average just 7.8 hits a game on the road this year. And when it comes to the total, the Pirates have seen 60% of their home games against National League opponents stay under the total. I like the Pirates +1.5, under 8.5 runs. All right, Guardians, Mets, 110 East. New York's $1.70, totals 8. David Peterson for the Mets, Gavin Williams for Cleveland. Now, the Guardians have had their hands full with National League opponents. They're just 16-22 in their interleague games, bottom 5 in runs per contest. No real surprise, these Guardians bats are averaging under 7.6 hits per game. And they're facing a Mets team who is typically tough to hit against at Citi Field. They're limiting opposing sluggers to just 3.8 runs a game in Flushing, Queens. And starting pitcher David Peterson's been a big contributor to that. 7-4 record, ERA of 2.83. Now, 6 out of the Mets' last 10 ball games did stay under the total. Cleveland with unders in 61% of their contests on the road. I like the Mets -170, under 8. All right, Twins, Tigers, 110 Eastern start. Detroit's $1.50, totals 8. Jack Flaherty for the Tigers. Joe Ryan, possible for Minnesota. Now, the Twins did drop 7 out of their last 10. They're actually playing their worst baseball away from Target Field. The Twins are just 23-36 in their travels, averaging just 3.9 runs a game on the road. And they're facing a Detroit squad who's been tough to hit against at Comerica Park. They're allowing just 3.9 runs a game there, just 2.7 walks a game on their own diamond. And starting pitcher Jack Flaherty he continues to rack up the strikeouts, 144 punch-outs, 1.25 whip. And out of Detroit's last 10 contests against the Twins, they've limited Minnesota to just 3.6 runs a game. Now, no real surprise here. Minnesota's seen nearly 60% of their road games stay under the total. I like the Tigers minus 150, under 8. Reds, Cubs, 220 East. Chicago's $1.35, totals 8. Cade Horton for Chicago. Andrew Abbott for Cincinnati. And Abbott comes into today's game with just 1 recorded loss and 108-plus innings. He's currently 8-1 with an ERA of 2.15. The lefty also has a solid 1.11 whip. Of course, as a staff, the Reds are allowing just 7.7 hits per contest. And they're facing a Cubbies team who's hit a bit of a rough patch over the past week or so. They've taken the loss in 5 out of their last 8 games, having a tough time at the plate with Cincy in recent gatherings. The Cubs averaged just 7.9 hits a game in their last 10 meetings with the Reds. When it comes to the total, the Cubs' last 5 straight at Wrigley Field stayed under the total. Cincy games went 9-1 of the under in their last 10. I like the Reds plus $1.15, under 8. Yankees, Rangers, 235 East. New York's $1.35, totals 8. Carlos Rodon for New York. Jack Leiter for Texas. Now the Rangers with overs in 7 out of their last 10. Yankee games went 60% to the over in their last 10 themselves. The Yankees are a top 3 run scoring team. The Yankees, they're a top 3 run scoring team. Meanwhile, the Rangers have averaged 5.2 runs a game in their last 10 gatherings against Yankee pitching. So if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. I like the over 8 runs. Blue Jays, Rockies, 310 East. Toronto's minus 220, totals 11. Kevin Gausman for the Blue Jays. Kyle Freeland for Colorado. And even though Freeland's had an awful year, the Rockies have done a nice job at the plate in recent gatherings with the Blue Jays. They averaged over 9.4 hits a game during that time frame. And when they're at Coors Field, well, the Rockies are one of the highest hit-producing lineups at home in the National League. And they're facing a Toronto pitching staff who's had their fair share of struggles. They're in the bottom 10 in runs allowed per game. When it comes to the run line, the Blue Jays did fail to cover in 6 out of their last 10 contests. Now, total-wise, Blue Jays games went 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Rockies with overs in their last 5 straight in Denver. I like the Rockies plus 1.5, over 11. Rays, Angels, 407 East. Tampa Bay is $1.20, totals 9. Shane Baz for the Rays. Tyler Anderson for Los Angeles. We could see some runs in this one. Both starters with ERAs in the mid-4s. When it comes to the total, 7 out of the Angels' last 10 home games did stay under the total. Rays games went 4-3 to the under in their last 7 on the road. I like the over 9. Cardinals, Dodgers, 410 East. LA's minus 220, totals 9. Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. Matt Liberatore for St. Louis. Now, Liberatore's just 6-9 on the year. Cards with losses in 7 out of their last 10. As a staff, the Redbirds are currently in the bottom 5 in runs allowed on the road. Just a .341 win percentage in their away games against National League opponents. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have done a nice job against National League competition themselves. 24-13 in their home games against the National League, pounding the baseball in their own ballpark. LA's averaging nearly 6 runs a game in front of their home crowd. Will Smith, OPS of .956. Freddie Freeman's hitting .303. And out of the Dodgers' last 10 meetings with St. Louis, they've definitely pummeled Cardinal pitching for an average of 9.6 hits a game during that span. I like the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 9. Astros Marlins 440 East. Miami's $1.20. Totals 8.5. Jansen Junk for the Marlins. Spencer Arrighetti for Houston. The Astros have taken the first two contests of this series. Actually, 15 total runs they scored in those pair of games. Houston's also 27-14 against the National League this year. They've got themselves a top 5 hit-producing lineup. Jeremy Pena bats .322. Jose Altuve leads the clubhouse in homers and ribbies. They're facing a Miami pitching staff who has definitely allowed their fair share of runs. They're in the bottom 10 in runs allowed per game. 4 out of Marlins' last 5 at home did get over the total. 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, 6 out of Houston's last 10 outings got over the total themselves. Give me the Astros plus $1. Over 8.5. A's Nationals 645 East. The Athletics are minus 130. Totals 8.5. Jeffrey Springs for the A's. Cade Cavalli making his season debut for Washington. And the struggling Nats have lost their last 6 straight. Gave up an astronomical amount of runs during that time frame. They actually gave up 70 total runs in their last 6 contests. And no real surprise, Washington allows more runs a game than any other staff besides one. They're facing an A's club who's played some pretty good baseball over the past few weeks. They're 7-3 straight up in their last 10, doing a nice job against Washington pitching in recent gatherings. The A's have averaged 9.9 hits a game in their last 10 meetings with the Nats. Nicholas Kurtz with 23 homers, OPS of 1044. Brent Rooker with 23 homers, most RBI in the clubhouse. Now, 3 out of the A's last 4 road games did get over the total. Washington games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me the A's minus 130, over 8.5. Royals Red Sox 7:10 Eastern start. Boston's $1.35, totals 9. Dustin May for Boston. Michael Wacha for Kansas City. Now, Wacha's just 5-9 on the year. Casey's struggled giving him run support. The Royals average just 3.6 runs a game at the plate, dead last in walks per contest in the box. They're facing a red-hot Boston club who won their last 7 straight, .650 win percentage at Fenway Park this year. And during that win streak, these Boston pitchers have done a real nice job. They allowed under 3.1 runs a game during that time frame. We could see more of the same with Dustin May on the hill. Handful of wins on the year, 97 total strikeouts. Now, Boston has seen 62% of their home games against American League opponents stay under the total. They've also held Kansas City to just 3.3 runs a game in their last 10 head-to-head gatherings. I like the Red Sox minus 135, under 9. Brewers Braves 7:15 East. Atlanta's $1.30, totals 8. Spencer Strider for Atlanta. Jose Quintana for Milwaukee. Now, Quintana's 8-4 on the year. Milwaukee continues to pound the baseball. They're averaging 5.8 hits a game in their travels, 9.8 hits a game in those road trips. Christian Yelich, 21 homers, 74 RBI. Andrew Vaughn, OPS in the 1100s. Of course, as a team, the Brewers got the W in 8 out of their last 9. 71 total runs they scored during that span. They're facing an Atlanta squad who lost 7 out of their last 9 themselves. They now have a losing record at Truist Park. And starting pitcher Spencer Strider comes into today's matchup with a 5-8 record on the year. 6 out of the Braves' last 10 ball games did get over the total. Milwaukee contest went 8-2 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I like the Brewers plus $1.10, over 8. White Sox Mariners 940 East. Seattle's minus 260, totals 8. George Kirby for the Mariners. John Cannon for Chicago. Cannon's 4-8 on the year, not getting a ton of run support. The White Sox are averaging just 3.6 runs a game on the road, 18-39 record in their travels. And they're facing a Seattle squad who got the W in 4 out of their last 5 ball games. They've been tough to hit against in their own building. They're giving up just 7.7 hits a game at home, 2.3 runs a game. They held Chicago to in their last 10 head-to-head meetings. Now, Mariner games went 60% to the under in their last 10. Chicago road games went 61% to the under this year themselves. I like the Mariners -1.5, under 8. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Padres, Diamondbacks, 9:40 Eastern start. San Diego's $1.55, totals 9. Nestor Cortes for the Padres, Anthony DeSclafani for Arizona. Now, the D-backs got the W in 3 out of their last 4 ball games. 6 runs per contest they averaged during that stretch. Of course, at the plate, this Arizona lineup's in the top 5 in the National League in runs per game. Ketel Marte, OPS of 933. Corbin Carroll, 22 homers, OPS of 861. And out of the D-backs' last 10 gatherings with the Padres, they've pummeled them for 5.4 runs a game. And speaking of San Diego, their pitchers haven't been overly dominant in their travels. They're fanning just 7.3 batters a game on the road, bottom 5 in the National League in walks per game in their travels. And through just 8 innings of work this year, lefty Nestor Cortes has an ERA of 9 flat. I like the Diamondbacks +1.5, over 9. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Phillies -170, over 8. Pirates +1.5, under 8.5 runs. We're 4-0 in our last 4 crowd pleaser teasers on my premium page. Mets -170, under 8. Tigers -150, under 8 runs. Reds +1.15, under 8. I like the over 8 in that Yankees-Rangers matchup. Rockies +1.5, over 11. Give me the over 9 in that Rays-Angels matchup. Dodgers -1.5, over 9. Astros +$1, over 8.5. Athletics -130, over 8.5 runs. Red Sox -135, under 9. Brewers +$1.10, over 8. Mariners -1.5, under 8 runs. Give me the Diamondbacks +1.5, over 9. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, folks, happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.